Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad and Supercoach Pro. In today's video, we are doing the round 2 AFL 2023 Supercoach team review. We have moved up in the ranks. We've scored 2,189, a bounce back from our shocking week last week with those injuries. This week, not so bad. Team value won't go up until next week. So I will reverse my trade so you can see what I'm looking into. So starting this video a little bit backwards today, but I think Dacos is really hurting me, and I am absolutely regretting him not going him over Ridley. All right, so actually my trades haven't been updated yet. So we'll start off on the back line. Doherty, really disappointing, only 73 Supercoach points, had 21 touches, and just looked really fumbling that last quarter with a few turnovers, and wasn't getting the monopoly on kickouts either. So a little bit worrying signs for Doc, but his low floor is always pretty decent, so I'm not too worried. I can't see myself doing a sideways to him for like a day cost or anything like that. And Ridley, same old Ridley sort of thing, looking good at halftime and those sort of scores. And then players like Redmond are really killing him. My boss, who's a massive Bomber supporter, said in round one I should actually go Redmond over Ridley, and I should have taken his advice. I know it's only 1 week sample so far. Well, we're round 2 now, but yeah, it's a little bit concerning. I've always liked Ridley's role when he plays the intercept role, and I can't see him getting flicked off either. Maybe he's just a really bad D8 there, but I just think he does have the capability of going really high as well, and he doesn't really drop below 70 too often. So yeah, a little bit disappointed I didn't go on Dacos, but if you look at Dacos' history last year, only turned up 5 or 6 times. And I'm still a little bit worried about second-year players being able to sustain that sort of, average for a long period of time, sort of like Paddy Cripps, when everyone jumped on him last year, then he got injured. And I don't want to be chasing too many points, but I guess this is the round to do it before the price changes. So Jones, 76, he bounced back, so that would have been a silly trade if I had went McKenna to Jones because they scored around the same. And yeah, he looked really good. He actually looked better than a 76, if I'm honest. Stocker, about 18, 19 touches again, 74. So it's 2 weeks of 74 in a row, and it's perfect for the price. Absolute pod D4, so I do like that role that he does have back there. Thought he scored a lot better, to be honest, and when I watched him as well. He actually got a lot of it when I was watching him. Gilby played on Tom Green, 76. He did decent enough role. Probably what we're expecting to average back there, 75, 80. And it's bang on 80.5. So, yeah, happy with Gimby. And I think if you don't have him, you need to pay up for this guy because he's got good job security as well. Constable, 67. Yeah, just doing Constable things. He's a really bad D6. I'd rather have McKenna there. So something to think about if I want to upgrade Cowan maybe to McKenna, I could, and then play McKenna over Constable. Wilmot and Cowan are just cash generation. So yeah, Wilmot looked all right as well. So that was pretty handy. Laird, I held on. I did say to actually SDS Supercoach, I said, watch Laird go over 140. And this is texting before the game. And yeah, what does he do? He goes over 140. So glad I stuck the VC on him because he used Whitell as my loop. Obviously, I didn't run Whitell as a loop for the season. Like he played round 1 and got a cut on his knee. So this is why I wanted cash generation over loops, because the loops will sort themselves out week by week. There'll always be someone in your team that's missing for a week or two. So I think cash generation this year is king. Yeah, so that was really good. I think he had about 39 touches against Richmond. And yeah, I just knew he'd go big against us because we don't tag. We leak so many midfield points. So any time Richmond are playing, just pick a midfield on a VC against us. Bontempelli, 125. Only had it 23, 24 times and still scored that much. The guy gets points for breathing, so I do like him as a pick. And just always a solid VC option generally anyway. So I love Bont. Green was playing on Gilby. Wasn't really a tag, but yeah, Giants looked absolute crap. So 106 and a loss. You'll take that from Green. Oh, this is the big one. Settlefield, I started with, so that's an absolute win. He's averaging 123 for the season. We're only 2 rounds in, mind you, and they have had an easy fixture with Hawthorn and Gold Coast. But what a pick! Really happy I started him and didn't have to bring him in. And then Hopper as well. Hopper bounced back. He had 23 and a goal and just looked great. He doesn't need a lot of ball to score really high. He only got 5 less disposals than he did the week before, but just an absolute different game from Hops. Even Dimmer said in the press conference against Carlton that we didn't look too Hopper. We kept burning him, not on purpose, but just not used to a new face in the side maybe, and not sure on his running patterns. I don't know. It does take a while for a team to gel, of course, when there is new players in there. So, yeah, fantastic for Hopper. Hopefully he's a sneaky M8 for the season and we can just sort of hold him because he looks like a potential keeper. Potential. I'm getting a little bit excited because he's Richmond. So Callahan, people trading him without knowing his score. He copped a shoulder knock. I think it was in the first quarter. In the last quarter, he looked all right. So I don't think I'd even flick him unless he's out for an extended period of time. But yeah, he actually looks pretty good. Go watch Giants games on KO. Just flick through. He knows where to find the ball and his kicking is elite. So that 45, yeah, if he didn't cop that injury, he probably would have been at 80, 90. Ashcroft, 105. Man, this kid just looked amazing. His spread from contest to contest is unheard of, like for a player like that. Just so much better than Horn Francis, to be honest. This bloke's going to kill it from seasons to come. And I think he might even be potential of sneaky M7 potential. Wouldn't surprise me if average 100 and something. Excuse me. And then, yeah, the bench I got right. So I only really got right by default by whipping Hollins and taking the VC off Laird. But I had a bad feeling McKenzie wouldn't do too well against Sydney midfield. And that's the thing with your MA is your MA is really opponent based on who you're actually going to field rookie-wise. Because there's any given week, Hollins or McKenzie can be the F8. Baker, I'm not really as hot on. He had that one good game in the preseason match, but I just don't like his scoring capabilities since, obviously, that 3-game sample size that we now have from preseason. Doesn't look great, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets dropped and he's a little bit of a whoop for us, but it wouldn't work this week anyway because they play Thursday night. Darcy and Marshall. Darcy's concerning. He was on like -3 or -4 at halftime and just looked really, really crap. Luke Jackson took around 40% of hits or something like that. They did share a fair bit. And Darcy just looked slow. Didn't look like he wanted to get the contest. Apparently, it was pretty hot in Perth in the game, from what I heard. So, yeah, here's one I might flick off. I might go through some trades later, but Marshall against English was an absolute showdown. They both scored really well for different reasons. Marshall 129. So you'll take that from Marshall and Radaglia. Yeah, let's not even talk about him. He's just a waste of cash generation. 4-9. Dunkley, back to what we expect from Dunkley, 117. Rosie 92, copped like a concussion sort of thing, so that was a little bit worrying, but continued the game. 95 Taranto, butchered it a bit, gets a lot of it, but just doesn't use it that great. It runs at about 60-something% as to Hopper, who runs at about 80. Big difference in scoring when that happens. And Goulden 107. So I was hoping Goulden would go a lot larger than that against Hawks. They did win by 80 points. So it's sort of like all the Swans players got a lot of the points but evened out. Bruin, I should have got rid of, but I didn't get rid of him in time. I just wanted to give him one more week because he does got the role, and Sheasel was my trade. I can't remember who I traded out for. Flanders for Sheasel. So that worked out really well as well. So I'm pretty happy with that move. And Josh Bruce and Green just covering the bench there. So Cheesel unreal. You've got to have him. If you don't have him, you've got to just bring him in now. And Bruce will get DPP and go back on at some point in my structure. What we're going to do from here, I'm really unsure of. I've got a few different moves. I really want to bring in Dacos and Darcy Cameron. I hate Darcy Cameron as a pick, to be honest with you, but his preseason form is showing. Well, sorry, not his preseason. His round 1 and 2 games are really showing. He plays Richmond against Nank. He'll do well against us. His value, I can stick him in the forward line, wait till the rucks sort each other out. He'll be valuable over the buyers, and if Marshall goes down or something like that as well, that DPP swing with Radaglia. So there's a lot of things I could do with Darcy's money. Darcy's going to drop money. I started Darcy for a reason, but only because I couldn't afford Wits, English, or anybody else. So that's what's really annoying. all because of Yo stuffed up my team, and I'm going to use that as an excuse all season. So sorry if you're already sick of it now. I do apologise. And then I could get rid of Boitel if he's not named potentially. And there was a third player being Bruin. So what it looked like is Constable comes up, my Dacos comes in, Cameron's already there, and then I just pick a forward at this point, probably just best available. So players I can afford, that's always a good filter for you. Just go average because I prefer that. And here's your biggest money maker. And then I should have 98k free for next week and just maybe do one upgrade and have 30 trades, 3 rounds in. I'm not too fussed about that. So could do something like that. Then it means I have to do 3 upgrades in the back. This is hard to know how many upgrades in the midfield, but at least 4. One of these might be a keeper. So that's 7 upgrades I need to do. And then 2 there. So 18, 30 trades to go. You could probably do that, to be honest. I think there's enough cash generation in the rookies that I do have in my side, and I think I'll get there pretty quickly. And it might be fallen primos that will have to be picked up as your F6 and D6 potentially, but that you just need them to play really well in the back half of the year after they've been tagged or something stupid or someone gets a role change and whatnot. So, yeah, there's a few players I'd be looking at this week. I really like the Orc of Zeeble. He's down back again. So I'm considering him over Dacos and banking more money and then doing an upgrade somewhere else. Or, grabbing Zeeble and McKenna instead of Chandler and Dacos. So there's a couple different combinations that I really got to think about to see how well it balances that side. But yeah, the side bounce back. It looks good on paper. I've got good pods. I've got good bench cover, good bench scoring rookies generally, apart from Green and Cowan. So I think I'm in the right position at this time of year. I just got to do smart trades for the rest of the season, and I should be okay. And as usual, if you guys like the video, you know what to do, like, sub, because a lot of the people that view my stuff consistently aren't sub. So do give it a sub, thumbs up and all the rest of it. And I'll probably do a video with SDS over the next couple of days, I'm sure. Maybe even tomorrow I might record one. I'll have to give him a text. But yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. I'll do a team preview before Thursday, and I'll leave it there. If you got any comments, just chuck them in there, and I'll reply to all of them at the end of it.